Hello everyone, welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob and this is the 22nd episode in my second Age of Wonders 3 Advanced Strategy series. In the last episode I was preparing to deal with a elf invasion coming from the west down here with this group of soldiers. Not really anything good in these armies, they're mostly low tier units, but I do have the numbers advantage, at least for now. Then up to the north I've got 3 armies closing in on the Halflings, 3 of my most powerful armies, including my king, getting ready to go up here and launch a full-scale invasion. Should be able to do quite a bit of damage. That's kind of where I'm at with things strategically right now. Let's go ahead and get into the comments for this week. There were some good ones. The one I wanted to start with came from Larnisol, who had suggested finding ways to streamline the series and move things along a little bit more quickly. I appreciate him pointing this out, and I appreciate his honesty because the series is moving a little bit slowly right now because of all the management that I have to do in my empire. There probably are ways I could streamline some of the things that I'm doing. I probably could auto combat a little more often than I have been, just to keep things moving. Of course, this is an advanced strategy series, and I don't want to turn it into a speed playthrough or anything like that, because obviously the people watching this, we all want to learn, myself included, want to learn how to improve at the game, and playing faster usually isn't the best way to do that, but I also want to keep it entertaining, so I appreciate that feedback. I always really do appreciate just honest feedback so I can improve the channel and make my videos better. And I'll be keeping that in mind as I move forward with this in future episodes, just in this series specifically, just to try to kind of keep this moving along. There are other comments this week that I think are definitely worth going over, some good ones really. This actually wasn't a comment from this week, but in episode 19 of this series, 3-19 on my channel, Silly Putty was talking about how the knowledge mana surplus system works. So like when you get an event that triggers in one of your cities that says you got a bunch of extra research this turn, you actually need to kind of manage that a little carefully instead of just randomly picking what you want. There's some math to how that works, and because mana doesn't seem, as far as I can tell, to always carry over to the next turn under all circumstances. In fact, I'm not sure if it's under any circumstances. There's a way to do that where my understanding is you pick spells that you can research instantly to try to get as much out of that mana surplus as you can. I'm really oversimplifying this, and I'm probably not even explaining it correctly, so my best advice would be to go back to episode 3-19 in this series, this second advanced strategy series, and read his comment, because he explains it a lot better than I can here on camera. So I would recommend doing that if you're interested in understanding how that system works. Other comments from this week, Civ 5 Addict had mentioned that I shouldn't forget to use Control Undead. This is something I'm kind of notorious for doing. I have abilities on my units that I forget to use in battle. Down here underground, it was this Necromancer army that is here somewhere. They're moving along this direction. She's got Control Undead. I did get one Reanimator out of it in the last episode, but probably could have gotten more if I was paying attention. I need to remember those kind of abilities. It's a mistake that I made in my co-op strategy series when I played as a Necromancer with Evan, so we'll try to remember to do that going forward. It's always good to have a reminder. Dear Airship, great comment this week, mentioned that I was putting too much value on Dread Siege, or too much focus on Dread Siege, trying to cast these Dome of Protection spells when I don't really need to be doing that. They're to be honest, the Elves' Dread Siege doesn't really affect me that much, because I can kind of fall back. My units here, they don't have that high of morale, but I can kind of position them just outside the borders. For one thing, I have 2 cities here. For another thing, I'm better off summoning these Phantasm Warriors because an Elf Warlord doesn't really have any good counter to that. They are at least, they might actually be, yeah, they're incorporeal, so they're actually immune to the inflict stun effect on Elf Manticore Riders, plus they resist shock and physical damage, which is primarily what the elves are capable of doing. These guys would be great to take up against an Elf Warlord, and I should be focusing on summoning them instead. So I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to start researching, or start summoning these guys probably every turn. Embrace Darkness is something I might think about getting on this city back here, because this is kind of more of a choke point area in here than this wide area is, and I'll be summoning a lot of units here. So I'm going to throw up Embrace Darkness here, just so I can get units there a little bit faster, and so the priests I'm making here have lifesteal, and then kind of go from there. That's also a good point, because the Phantasm Warriors... No, I'm sorry. The Dread Siege only affects units that are in the territory, the city that it's cast on, and ideally I'm going to be on the offensive here, so I'll be in his territory anyway. Dread Siege won't matter as much. All good points. It's a really good thing to think about, and I'm glad he mentioned that. With all that being said, I think we can just get into the episode here. Let's start going, or I think I was just ready to go to the next turn after switching my spell there, and then we can kind of... see how things stack up here. It's primarily right now trying to figure out what blue is going to do next. The armies up here, it's pretty much no question what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit this city, then hit Hillberry, then go over here and hit whatever he's got. I think my fairy spotted. Yeah, there's another city in here somewhere. That might come pretty close to finishing him off unless he's got something underground. Hopefully my Necromancer army down here will be able to help with that, as they are kind of moving in that direction. Speaking of which, I'm going to keep them going along. Oh, hey, there's a Archon dwelling down there. I'm not gonna mess with them. Oh, wait, what am I thinking? I want to mess with them. There's only 2 units there. I've got greater reanimate undead and control undead. I could get an Archon Titan out of this. Ooh, that would be nice. Okay, let's see what I can do here. This is definitely worth grabbing if I can get one. An Archon Titan would be great, and because I'm dedicated to evil, it would fit right into my army. Plus, I have 2 chances to get it. If I can manage to cast Control Undead first, the only problem is that it's an Archon Titan, and so I actually have to manage it, preferably without it killing anything. They do all melee damage, all physical damage. The cadavers I don't think they resist that. I think it's just projectile protection that they have, or projectile resistance. But still, that's going to be the best unit to take that initial hit, so... that's kind of how I'm going to stack this up. Now, fortunately, these guys aren't completely immune to frost damage, which means that I can still hit them with the reanimators with black bolts and have a chance to stun them. And that's going to be one of my keys to winning this battle, I think. I should have probably moved them back a little bit further, but I think I can still manage with this. Fortunately, this little thing is in the way, which is going to prevent him from getting to that unit right there. Because I want to keep that charge bonus on that raptor, especially with the fire damage, in case I need to kill this thing if Control Undead doesn't work. Okay, so that breaks their guard. No big deal. Now, I need to do this kind of carefully. Ideally, I'd like to stun him, which would make him even easier to control, I think. Because it should lower his resistance. Right now it's at 13, so I'm going to try that first. Let's turn him around a little bit more. Okay, no luck there. I'm gonna move the firstborn there. This might be a bad idea. Okay, I got the stun. There it is. Now the firstborn can go out there and deal with them if he needs to. First thing I'm going to try to do is control undead. If that doesn't work, the backup plan of reanimate undead will work. That's 100% success rate every time, as far as I know. Okay, so control undead was resisted, which means I need this dwarf firstborn to just lay into that guy, kill him. Then I can reanimate him on the next turn. The cadavers are going to probably be sacrificed. I can get them back pretty easily. I don't really have a quick way of healing my units. I would prefer the cadavers die because I've been trying to heal these dwarf firstborns for like 5 turns now. So I'm going to send them out here and probably just put them on defense. If they really want to run around to get at one of my other units, that's fine. I'll at least put the raptor there to prevent them from getting a flank attack on him. Although I guess they could go after those guys. Well, That's fine where they're at right now. It's not a huge deal either way. Yep, they'll just kill the cadavers. Not a big deal for me. I'm going to have an Archon Titan in a second. First, I want to make sure that I will be able to kill these guys on this turn. Oh yeah, that's not going to be a problem. Alright. That's a nice addition to this army. Very nice addition to this army. Okay. And these guys... I'm not sure if they have... Oh, wait. Duh. Here's what I should do with them. They've got heal and dead, so let's get him patched up. So he's at nice and full health. This should be a nasty surprise for the Halflings. And I can charge them in the back, and then get a flank with this guy to finish him off. That is a nice addition to my army. That's going to be extremely helpful. While I'm here, I could probably just grab that city and start producing things in it. I probably should. I should have gone this way first instead of running up north like I did. Now he's got all 36 movement points, so I can go down here and check out what's in this inn. And I am greeted by an orc shock trooper. Not bad, especially considering I got a bunch of extra gold. And this army could use an orc shock trooper. I wouldn't turn that down, so let's go ahead and pick one of them up. That guard break ability, if nothing else, could come in really handy. I could put them back here. I've got to kind of maybe leave one of these units back. The goblin... Which one of these is better, the goblin or the human? I'm not really sure what their major differences are. The goblin does have Heart of the Glades. The human does not. Because the human was one that I converted. So I'm going to keep the goblin with me. I think he's probably just got a little edge on the human. He's also should have more experience at this point. Yeah, he's gold rank, so... keep the best group on with each other and kind of let him just hang around for now. I think that's probably good. Okay. Where did blue go? Looks like they backed off. Well, this is maybe not good for them, because now if they go after either of these two cities... Wait, there's got to be something else going on here. What am I not seeing? No, they're definitely not in my territory anywhere, unless they all have some sort of concealment, which is unlikely. No, I think they just backed off. They might be going back to regroup. That's okay. It buys me a little time. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get that cast and start summoning these guys on pretty much every turn for the rest of the game, I think. Summoner's War would be kind of a good thing to have if I had a bunch of these guys already in the territory of my cities out here, but as it is, it won't really matter. Okay, let's try to get the best units that I've got piled up into a group of 3. Tiger, not that useful here, I think. So I'll add a charger in. He's got that spirit damage. Might be helpful. And could always use more of these guys because of their inflict stun effect. I'll keep the Treb around. The Flamers are kind of good in groups. You know, I do have quite a bit of these support units. I'll switch him for the Wisp. Although I almost hate to lose the Wisp because he's important too. But I'm going to be keeping all these units as backup. It's not like I'm never going to use them. I'll probably just have them sit back here somewhere a little bit further back and just have reinforcements in case I need them. But this group is going to be good if anything attacks them because they'll all get brought in on the battle. Alright, built another builder here. Now, what was I doing with... Oh yeah, I was going to build a road between these two cities to help this army get back and forth faster. Which is... Yeah, I can just go like this. Whoops. Kind of did that wrong, actually. Oh well, it doesn't really matter. It's like 4 gold. So I'll put the road there, there, and then kind of move down this way. He might get picked off on the next turn. Let me see if I can move. I'll move these guys down just to guard him for a turn. But yeah, with advanced logistics, that road's going to be useful there. Okay, ooh, Age of Magic. Yes, this is the Sorcerer's Tier 4 spell, if you don't know. Ancient Arcane Currents are awakened, enabling the caster to channel massive amounts of magic. I get plus 50 casting points and can cast any spell for half the cost. This is obviously something that I want. I could start casting summoning 3 Phantasm Warriors a turn. Problem is it'll take a while to cast, so I have to determine whether it's worth it, whether I think the game will go on long enough or not. I'm going to get gold dragons here because I think they're cool. And I think they might be a little better than the other dragons. It's hard for me to tell, but I'm going to start moving in that direction with this city. Alright, and down here I've been upgrading the city to try to get human halberdiers, and I probably would continue to do that, but right now I'm producing enough units elsewhere that I can put this on produce merchandise. I can always come back to this city later, but the borders are going to have to grow for a little bit. I do have a granary in here already, so that will help. And I'll just kind of let that city grow for a while. I don't need to be managing it every turn. That's one of those things that I probably can streamline. Alright, I got just a new item for Jazargo. So here I'm bringing these guys up. They're getting very close now. Still probably faster for them to take the road, so Halflings have got to be getting a little bit nervous at this point, but on the next turn I'm going to go rushing in. And was trying to decide who that trebuchet should go with. Realized that depending on how I position my armies, I could probably leave the trebuchet by itself and then have it kind of jump in wherever it's needed. It could just be an extra unit off to the side. Since I'm going to be the attacker, not the defender, the triangle formation doesn't become quite as important. The 3-stack formation. Okay, have an item in this city, and it's probably the one I forged. I did forge an item. Yeah, the Boots of Blinding Speed. So who was I going to give that? Oh, that was going to go for the Dwarf Warlord. I think Yeah, he's got that for now. I'm going to send those to him. These boots are an item that I forged that are going to give him Tireless. Which is going to be... I love having Tireless on either Warlords or Dreadnoughts. It's very useful. These guys I'm just going to have camp out in the city. No need to manage them anymore. And then have this city... Probably... I could forge another item. I know I may not really need it at this point, but I kind of wanted to look through here real fast and sort of see what my options are. Regeneration is... Well, probably... I was thinking Regrowth. Regrowth is really good. Regeneration maybe not as useful in combat, but I could also get Tireless, or no, that's Boots again. Pass Wall would be nice, but nothing really stands out to me there. Halfling Slayer and Elf Slayer would maybe be nice things to add to a couple of my heroes. Let's see what I can do there. How about this giant axe here? That seems good. We'll do Halfling Slayer, and where's Elf Slayer? CDE, where's Goblin, Human, Fey, High Elf? There it is, High Elf Slayer. Those each only cost 1. And I could give the unit... Oh, I could give Life Drain. Oh, upgrade points 3 out of 5. So I've only got 3 that I can send or use on this one. So how about we throw in... Not armor piercing. Defensive strike might be nice. Defensive strike would be really nice. That would go well. That would go very well with my Dwarf Warlord, who, while defending, won't use any... Yeah, he won't get tired because he's gonna have Tireless. So defensive strike would go well for him. And then I can throw in just any other level 1 buff. Bloodthirsty, maybe if he had Inflict Bleeding, but probably not that great otherwise. Wall Crushing, Dwarf, Monster, Dragon, Draconian. So many options. I'm going to just go with something a little bit more general, I guess. Let's throw on... oh no, that Shatter Strike isn't frost damage. That's only for... Let's just throw on Armor Piercing in case we run into armored units. That'll be fine. We'll call it... I don't know what we're going to call this. The Battle Axe of Doom. Oh, wait. Mordor's Axe, because it kills elves and halflings. Right. Let's do it. I'm going to have to wait until the production can get started, because it's going to take a lot of resources. But that's going to be a nice item for my Dwarf Warlord to have, I think, going forward. This city was being upgraded on the way to... I'm still going to keep upgrading... No, I got to do merchandise here. I'm going to have to do merchandise on a few cities for a while, I think. I feel like I've got enough priests in this area. I could really stop summoning more. I'm going to keep building them for a few more turns until I have a better idea of exactly how many forces the elves have that I have to deal with it. Because let's face it, I'm making like 1,000 gold per turn. Alright, I already know what's going on down there. I already know kind of what's going on over here. This was a human settler. Now, I had sent the other one towards the underground already, I think. Did I? I know I had another human settler, and I was going to put one on this city. Oh, no, wait, that is already its own city. And it's actually ready to start building things. Throw that on merchandise, too, for now. This one was the one that's going underground. Draconian Charger. I'm gonna stop making these guys for now. I've got plenty of them, and they don't have any significant buffs enough for me to want to continue to make them right now. I'm gonna keep a handful hanging back in some of my cities, but I think this city's gonna be better off on produced merchandise for the time being, at least. I would probably take this off, this enchanted or embrace darkness, but I don't really need to. So yeah, produce merchandise looks good. I'd like to keep that on there in case I need to summon units in a slightly different area. And it's not like I'm hurting for mana. Alright, this city is good to go on produce merchandise. Could probably throw a bell tower in there, but then, yeah, merchandise after that. Got my awesome city here that's going to be making some really good units that I hope I have a chance to use. Now let's see, did I get everything? I got the guardhouse, I got the shooting grounds. I was going to make slaughter pits, right? I need the slaughter pits, and then I think that's the last little piece of this that I need. Speaking of which, what am I producing right now? Because I would really love to get enough gold for that to be done on the next turn. Let's, Stone Giant. Okay, here's what I can do. I know one thing that's definitely producing. Now, to get this to work on this turn, I actually have to cancel that. I'm gonna go down to the Dragon City and stop this. I can do merchandise for a turn there. Go up here, because this city is a higher priority. I want to start making these guys and replace a lot of the lousy tier 1 units that I've been building for something much better. That actually allows me to go over here. I'll have enough gold to go ahead and build a storehouse so that this city can start growing. This city's just going to go on merchandise for forever. I think I just finished the Grand Palace. Yeah. Don't want to have to worry about that one anymore. I can use a few of these Sun Guards to kind of help guard that trebuchet that's sort of on its own. And this city, I'm not going to mess with upgrading. Throwing that on merchandise too. Just to, like I said, streamline things a little bit so I'm not getting all these city pop-ups everywhere. This one, probably the same thing. I'll do merchandise for one turn. I do want to at least build growth. A granary in there for growth, a storehouse. That guy's good where he is. I kind of like that wisp up there because he's going to make a decent scout. Kind of like what I'm going to be doing with this wyvern. Just to get a different angle on the halflings and maybe get a sense of what they've got. Alright, and then I know these two groups are just going to hold up. He is going to be better off, I think, going back on defense. I don't really need so much in terms of scouts right now because I kind of know what the map is like and know where the major cities are. They're not going to be hard for me to find, so I'm just going to leave him back. This group down here, I was going after this, and I could go and get ships if I got that, but I think this is one of those things that would just take too much time, and by the time I had upgraded a city to have ships, I don't think that they would be very useful, because I got a feeling the game is going to be pretty close to over. Plus, as I look at the map, even from a strategic perspective, there really isn't a lot of reason to have them, because pretty much everything is connected by land or bridges. There isn't a whole lot of areas where I'd have to cross water, and the few that do, there's like a rapids that cuts right through the middle of the map. So instead of doing what I was planning on doing with these guys, you know what though? I do need this route. That is important, because this is a strategic choke point that I need to build a road through to get units down here fast if something comes from this direction. So this is actually something I need to deal with. That's alright, I'll get it done. Closely matched, so I unfortunately can't auto-combat this one. This actually might be kind of a tough battle. Alright, Wyvern inbound, plus these guys. These bigger elementals do not have magic, they don't have ranged magic. They will come up to you and they'll just hit you. The Frost Elemental is going to be good against anything weak to Frost, which is going to be almost everything that I have. These guys are also incorporeal, which means that I can't stun them. Wait, I think they are. It actually doesn't say that they are, but I kind of assumed that they would be. Well, it doesn't matter anyway. Those, the air elementals are completely immune to shock damage, so they can't be stunned anyway. These guys, maybe not so much. They are defenders, so I definitely want to get them on the attack. Alright, let's position the units that don't have charge. Yeah, see, they have charge and lifesteal. So I'm going to actually put him within range of both of those elementals to come hit. So let that guy take the hits. Also want to get these guys a little closer to that one, because that's the one they're going to have to hit to try to stun, if possible. I'm going to move them around to more of a flank. This is going to be a little tricky. I'm probably going to lose some people here. Oh, hey, they have phase. Well, never mind about all that. And they are frozen. That's not good. Fire Wyvern, so these guys don't do really much extra damage to them at all. I almost want to just get them free and then fry everybody, including my Hellhounds, which will at least resist. In fact, they may be immune to fire damage now because they're frozen. Fire protection 100%. So yeah, they'll just do a small amount of physical damage to them, but otherwise, I need to get this group free. Okay, so that's the one I can't stun. This one, I think... No, I can't stun him either, probably because he's an elemental. Alright, let's turn them around at least for the moment. Spirit damage will still do respectably well against them. Then I can back up here and just firebomb everyone. Still did a decent amount of damage to my wargs, or my hellhounds, but let's face it, they're frozen. It's not like they're going to do a lot. Okay. He can probably finish off that elemental. In fact, he almost could for sure, but I'm going to build up that flank or that charge bonus just so I don't get low rolled. Let's get him out of here. Alright, now with these Brew Brothers, you want to get with 2 spaces for max damage. This guy is the big threat right now, so I'm going to try to take him out. I can run around with these guys and get a charge attack right on their back while simultaneously pressuring. Ooh, good hit. Very good hit. Nice. They did get frozen, which is unfortunate. They might... No, they're going to go after the Hellhound. Yeah, they're not going to hurt those guys. Alright. Now, in this case, well, actually, I want to do that firebomb first to make sure I hit everybody that I can. That turns them both around, giving these guys an opportunity to go hit the Phantasm Warriors. Another critical hit, which is very nice. Also means that I can focus on the Wyvern with these guys. That gets me a stun. Halflings can finish off. And all I've lost is a Hellhound. Not bad for a battle like that. Okay, so a bunch of extra cast. Oh, I was not paying attention. I can't believe I did this. Oh, dang. Okay, so I just opened a box of Cataclysms without even thinking. For some reason, I was thinking that was just a pile of channeling points, but that doesn't exist, does it? It's got to be a box of Cataclysms. Well, that wasn't very smart, was it? Okay, I don't think it really matters a whole lot at this point, as long as I can protect my important cities. So I get the choice between a Theocrat hero or a Necromancer hero. So I'm going to be fighting holy units or undead units. Which am I better at dealing with? With all of my fire magic, I'm going to say Rise of the Lich Queen. Plus, if I'm lucky, my Necromancer's army will run into it and get a few more units out of it. But yeah, oops, wasn't really thinking there. Sorry. Well, to keep unit diversity up, let's keep these guys together and take on that next group to clear this road. And this says very likely victory. I'm going to just auto-combat it. Yeah. Numbing Hand of Winter's Hex. What is that? Oh, Freezing Touch. Okay. I'm just going to sell all this for gold. Alright, this guy was going to build a bridge to go across the water here. I think I want it going at this angle. Cut it a little closer to that other city too. There we go. Alright, and then I can finish that next turn. Gonna pile them up on this city because I want to protect it just in case of whatever might show up. The one nice thing I do have going for me is that I've got these human priests kind of everywhere, so I'm gonna send a few more of them deeper into my... No, actually, those guys need to stay where the giants are. And he might actually come in handy too, that orc priest. I'm gonna send really all hands on deck towards this city right now. Okay, Theocrat army is going to come in, probably stomp all this stuff pretty easily. Let's just send the flyer in. This is going to be a very likely victory. Can auto-combat just fine. Oh, should have sent all of them onto that. It doesn't matter. Skip this turn and then go get that Well of Souls on the next turn with another quick auto-combat. Alright, another guy out here is backup. A random group of lousy soldiers moving through the tunnels. Let's see. I don't even need to stop and clear that. I'll take the mine. Why are there so many things on this? Oh, I lost a Mystic. Now that's what auto-combat gets you, but honestly, this army, I don't really care about at all. They're all angry at me because they're dedicated to neutral. This army, on the other hand, I do care a little bit more about. Although, you know what, guys? At this point, given what I was talking about earlier, I should probably just be sending these guys straight at the enemy. There's really not a whole lot of reason, because by the time this city grows... Yeah, by the time this city grows, there's not going to be anything for me to do with it. I kind of want this army on the front lines, or have this army in my territory to protect them from the undead if the undead show up, because this is my Theocrat's army. These guys are specialized in killing undead. So I'm actually going to send them back towards the surface and have them guard up top somewhere. I guess I could probably... Those are some really lousy units, so I could probably do a quick auto-combat here, just to see what I pull out of that structure. Oh man, see, the Titan Sabertooth took serious damage. Sundering Warhammer, 78 gold. Just gonna sell it. Let's get them back up to the surface. Not even gonna worry about that magic library right now. She got a level up. I believe I already have... Okay, now I have Undead Slayer. Let's get our Vow of Poverty. Just to... Oh, wait. No. I was working towards something very specific. I wanted the resurgence for all the units in my army. I can't get it yet, but it's probably coming soon. So I'm going to save those points because I think I got some better upgrades coming up soon. And I'm not really, like I said, not hurting for gold, so... Alright, need to remember to keep summoning these guys. Don't stop summoning Phantasm Warriors right now. And now that that stuff's all clear, I'm going to have them probably go hang out with these guys out here, because that's kind of a front line. And then all those units will be pretty close to where the elves are coming through. They could serve as potential backup if needed. This guy is still just kind of running around down here. He's probably going to meet up with the Tigrans at some point. Let's just tunnel through here and see what I can find. Alright, that does it. I got my spell ready for next turn. These guys don't like me very much. We're good to go. Alright. Gotta keep an eye on these elves and see what they try next. It's this area that I'm most concerned about. And here they come. Now they may have just walked into a position where I can surround them and outnumber them. But it depends on how much more they bring. We're up to 2 full stacks now. 2 full stacks of pretty good units against a whole lot of not so good units. I might be able to do a city defense on this turn. City defense battle coming up here pretty soon. Because they've left... I don't think I want to engage them in the open field. Okay, I definitely don't want to engage them in the open field. Ah, but that is their leader. They're attacking me with everything that they've got. And I can almost guarantee you... here's what I was a little worried about. Them splitting up and going after separate cities. Can't defend everything. What just happened? One of those global events just triggered. I'll find out in a minute. It's, oh, that's the... Is that the Rise of the Lich Queen? I didn't know it changed the entire look of the entire world. What have we got here? She's a level above my other Theocrat, so I can get a sneak peek at what comes next. And Divine Justicars does come next. All units in the hero's army gain resurgence. That's what I want for my other hero. And she has got 5, needs 10, so I'm going to have her save those upgrade points. Okay, I already know. Domain invasion. Got it. Scam has grown into a village. I can afford the house there, so I am going to go ahead and switch that. What the? Why does it have a red X there? That's kind of bizarre. What does that mean? Dismantling stuff? No. Oh, it was dismantling it. Okay, I didn't even have it selected. Okay, that's why I'd put the city on produce merchandise. It already has that kind of stuff. Whoops. Yeah. Alright, well, I'll be ready for that hopefully when it happens. Back to the surface. Must summon units as quickly as I can. You know what? Is it worth summoning 2 of them out here that won't have lifesteal? Or summoning 1 with lifesteal and then trying to reinforce that city as well? Okay, I think there's a way I can defend both of these cities. He's got lifesteal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lose a little bit of research doing, or a little bit of spell casting points doing this, but I'm going to abort that spell. I will regain 57 of this, so I'll get most of my mana back. Then I can cast Embrace Darkness out here. I'm going to try to hold this city. I'm going to try to hold both of them. Then I can summon Phantasm Warrior right where it needs to be. Although if I was paying attention, I would have summoned one here and gotten the haste berries and still gotten there on time. So that was actually a mistake on my part. But that's okay. Can't win them all. What are we up against? We got 1 Mana Core Rider, 4 Mana Core Riders, plus everything else. I think I need these 2 in this city. Plus whatever stunners I can get. Okay, sending the lousy units up here. Whoop. Okay. Well, I already know I'm going to do this. Nightshade Hollow. Yes, please. Nightshade Fairies are awesome. Let's see. I can get this guy up in there. I can get the Charger up in there. I can kind of just overwhelm them with units, I think. And maybe get even one more. I want the Trebuchet on defense in this city. This group could use an extra stunner, I think. That's going to be the only way they really have a chance of winning. So let's send this priest out here. No, wait, let's send one from a group that already has multiple priests. Like these guys. There's kind of a lot of them in that army. Send an extra one out there. That leaves room for an extra Phantasm Warrior with this group. Let's make sure the hero's got one nearby. Alright, we'll get everybody onto these 3 tiles, and I'm going to try to hold my ground. I need to move so I can finish that road, move a unit temporarily, like that guy. Okay, that finishes the road, and now he needs to just get out of here. No room for builders in this group. Alright, gonna camp them. Camp this guy, camp this army. Everybody's gonna camp. Maybe I can get this guy out there on this turn. I don't know. He's gonna get slowed down a little bit by the wetlands, whereas the Phantasm Warrior would not have been slowed down by the wetlands. But I'm gonna try... Oh, he is so close. He's so close, but he won't quite make it. Won't quite make it to either location. I'll just sit him out here with the builder, I guess, for the moment. Alright, let's throw a storehouse up in that city real quick. And this one's going to just go on merchandise for a while. I still want to work towards golden dragons if I can get them, because that's kind of too good to pass up. Bell tower was produced... Oh, whoops, I skipped one. Oh, hey, here's good news, though. I'm pretty sure this city's done. My super soldier creating city. So let's see, I got the Mana Vault I don't need. Don't need Firestorm Pillar. Don't need the Rider's Hall, because I don't have cavalry that's getting produced. The Great Temple doesn't give any benefit to magic units produced in the city. We are ready. So what I'm planning on doing with this city is doing an alternating pattern. I want Draconian Apprentice, Draconian Flyer, Apprentice, Flyer, Apprentice, Flyer. Maybe throw an Elder in there, actually. They're actually both good. The Draconian Apprentices, here's what I can do. Let's clear that. So I'm going to do Apprentice, Elder, Flyer, and then just set that on infinite. It'll keep producing those 3 units in a row, and then eventually they'll just pile up, and I can just start sending them out to the front lines. Keep them on defense. Alright. Do star. This was the city I was going to make Dwarf Firstborns at. It needs a storehouse if it's ever going to get that big. Alright, and then I think the war with the Halflings can begin. I might be able to actually take their first city. These guys are closer, so let's see what they've got in there. That's a road tile right there, right? Yep. You know what? Cancel that. Let's just straight up declare war on these guys. Alright, Roger. I'm really sorry about this, but I'm evil, so... What do you have? Decent amount of units, but nothing that's going to stop the firepower I'm bringing. I kind of would like to get all 3 armies in on this one, though. You know what? I don't need them. The way their units are positioned. I could probably take care of this battle pretty quickly. Although I am low on magic. I have no magic and he's got magic. Let's just do this the safe way. I'm going to get everybody together. That's about as far as they can move. Just get them all on the same tile. Check that, and check that. Get the trebuchet close enough to where it could reach the city on the next turn, as well as that guy and this guy. So we got a little backup there, but also just outside of the range where they can see them, assuming that that matters. It might not. And then this city, well, nothing for them to do but produce merchandise and pray. And this was the one that I was going to put on infinite merchandise. So just have a ton of cities just generating gold, and that's really all they're doing. Now that Roger's borders are nice and open to me, I can just sort of go in here and get a look at what we got. There's another city here that I can see. Isfar, and that is his throne, so that's good to know. I had suspected that anyway, but wanted to make sure. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Maybe just threaten cities in the back to try to get him to split up his forces a little bit. And just go sit here. Same thing with you. Actually, those guys should probably go to the capital. I don't want to lose my capital city. That would be a mistake. I'm going to try to get a couple of these. Well, actually, that's probably kind of where my halfling or my elf theocrat army is going to sort of head, is in that direction. I'd still want this group out here. I want a good presence on that giant city, since that's making some really good units. Let's build a road probably straight down to that other one. Should be able to connect it on this turn. There we go. All good. I can auto-combat this real quick. Definitely don't want to drink from the well with this army. They might be powerful enough to take on one of the mythical structures, but I don't think I'm going to test my luck just yet. This group probably needs to hang out around here as a secondary defense for this city, depending on where that necromancer army shows up, and as defense for these 2 cities, one of which is generating a ton of gold for me. Then of course I've got these guys down here, which are slowly getting killed off if I continue auto-combating. They did good. I got a monkey. He can join them on their way to killing the next thing. This battle might actually take some thought. I might actually be able to get a decent unit out of this one. Let's go ahead and do this manually, because I could buy a tier 3 unit in there, and that might, who knows, could come in handy. They're so grumpy. Alright, let's get the unit. Oh, I was gonna say get a tough unit in front, but I don't really have any tough units with this group. Let's at least get the Treb in the back so we can smack something with the... Let's get rid of those priests. I don't like them. They have men magical being, but no healing on their own. Let's just kind of throw the monkeys in front and maybe this guy. That'll probably be fine. I want to keep them out of range of that cavalry. Probably behind my other units, to be honest. And they're all going to be disgusted, but whatever. Their morale is... Well, the Saber-Tooth Chariot actually doesn't really seem to mind what's going on. He's cool with it. Alright, and get stunned. Or just die. Either way is cool, I guess. There, we got a stun. Probably should have stunned this guy. I don't think it's gonna matter. The monkeys might die here. Maybe? They probably will if I don't do something to help them. How much damage would they do? It should be enough. And go pressure this guy a little bit. Maybe get in his face. No, not the monkeys. Oh, they live. The monkeys survive. And you're going to die from, well, never mind. You didn't die. I'll just stab you to death. So apparently that chariot is not dedicated to neutral. Maybe I noticed that in a past... That's not a chariot. This is a chariot. Maybe I noticed that in a past episode. But, yeah, they don't... That's actually could become a decent unit, so maybe I shouldn't be so reckless with that unit in particular. Let's see what I got in here. A Halfling Eagle Rider. It's not as useful underground, but I mean, hey, you know, if I can start turning this army into something useful instead of just complete garbage, I'll take it. Let's have him tunnel his way through and see what I can find out here. Of course, getting money as I go, which is kind of nice. Could maybe even link up the tunnel with that other group. Alright, I can't really get that other guy in here, but it doesn't really matter. Let's grab this city real quick. Gotta do this manually to make sure I can try to get one of those soldiers on my side. Well, I'll move him up here. They are welcome to go after that Titan if they wish. In fact, move him within range of, well, 2 of them anyway. This one can go after the shock trooper if he really wants to. It's not going to end very well for him, but they can. I'm going to try to avoid having those firstborns take damage. Oh, that's just a bad idea, guys. Just a really bad idea. Okay, let's see if I can maybe get 2. In order to do that, I probably need to stun one of them, which should be possible because I'm not going to do a lot of damage. Oh, come on. That was my only stun chance because I left the other reanimator behind. Let's see what I can do. I can always control undead first. I'm afraid they'll both kill themselves, but let's try this. Okay. They might all just suicide themselves on this turn. We'll see. I'm going to give them a chance. Oh, well, I guess I don't get any soldiers then. Probably shouldn't have been greedy. Should have just taken one. It's whatever. Definitely want to absorb that city into my empire, as I am dedicated to evil. Having evil units is a good thing. Now, if that army can meet up, if this Necromancer army can meet up with these guys, that might not be a bad combination. They could pop up behind the Halflings and cause some damage, or maybe even continue running west and get underneath where the Elves are. You know, there's a couple options there. Can I get those haste berries, and will it help at all? It will not. I'm actually closer to the road here than I would be out there, so let's head back to that cave entrance. Is there a faster one? Not really. Not to get to where I'm trying to go. I think this one's probably closest to get back towards where the capital is. In the meantime, I'm going to just pile... Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Pile these guys up on the capital city. Not like they would stop that army, but probably worth a try. There's going to be other smaller undead armies everywhere too. This could make holding some of my cities a hassle. I might need to consider redistributing some of my units just here and there to ward off small groups, but it's kind of hard to tell. I'm sure I can recapture any cities that I lose pretty quickly, so I'm not going to worry too much about it just yet. Alright, well, in the next episode I'm going to be doing a lot of fighting, it looks like. It looks like Blue and I are really going to crash, so this should be at least a little exciting here to see how well I hold these cities, because in both cases, I think it's going to be a pretty tough battle. These Manticore Riders may also be able to reach... No, they just barely can't reach me on the next turn, so that... Oh wait, they just barely can. But yeah, if they wanted to, they could pull these 2 Manticore Riders down here to help, or maybe send units up there. We'll see what they do. Good chance to figure out just how smart the AI really is. Otherwise, though, I think things against the Halflings, that's going to be pretty one-sided. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Alright, everybody. Well, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscriber count continues to go up, so that's exciting. I'm hoping to hit 500 here before the end of the year. That'd be nice. Maybe even before that. So, please keep them coming. Like, comment, subscribe. Especially the comments really helps in a strategy series like this. Always love hearing your feedback. There was a lot of good feedback this week, and I hope you'll keep it coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.